All right, Grant, pre-show shenanigans. I think all of Miami and Miami fans collectively need to say a big thank you to Caitlin Clark for them being in the national championship this year.
Yeah.
Do you know why, or
Yeah.
shall I
Please,
elaborate a
no,
little bit?
please elaborate for any confused
So
viewers.
here's we're doing the meme. I don't know what show it is, but they're connecting all of like the police
Oh,
diagrams and stuff with the
yeah,
orange.
Charlie Day from Always
Yeah.
Sunny. He
Um,
figures out Pepe.
Yeah. So this is
Pepe
where we
Sylvia.
start. Caitlin Clark, while at Iowa, torched Haley Van Lith
So
so
bad, guys.
badly,
So
so
bad.
badly that it caused Haley Van Lith to transfer from LSU to TCU.
Yes.
Now, at that point, remember the Cavinder twins are still playing college basketball.
Mm.
Haley Cavinder.
Well, I think they actually took a gap year at that time.
But
still had eligibility.
Yeah.
I think they
But
still have eligibility.
Haley Cavinder was at TCU at the time.
And is that the one that's the good basketball player?
And Haley Van Lith transferring there was going to cut into her playing time.
Yes.
As a result, that led both the Cavinder twins to transfer to Miami.
Back to Miami, I believe.
I don't know the whole
whatever.
To Miami, which then caused Carson Beck, who was dating one of them at the time, to follow them to Miami. And obviously, Carson Beck has now led the Miami Hurricanes to the national championship game against quite literally everybody's belief in them the entire playoffs.
Yeah, now I will say this story may be an example of a good part of NIL. Now, real quick on the Cavinder twins. They were like what NIL was supposed to be. Same thing with Livy. Like, they're what NIL was supposed to be in the fact that if you are an athlete that happens to have millions of followers, that you can go do brand deals.
Livy Dunn.
Livy Dunn's the prime example of like what NIL was supposed to be. And it's like, it's not, LSU wasn't giving her a multi-million-dollar deal. Well, maybe by the end of it, they were giving it to her to stay. But most of those deals were not affiliated with LSU. It was her Instagram following. Like, that's why. But in this case, Carson Beck, now I will say this. I'm now over the loss. No ill will towards Miami. I'm not upset at Miami. I'm upset at Ohio State for losing that game. Nothing with Miami. But now, even despite that, I am rooting for Carson Beck. I think that is one of the best stories in this whole thing. This guy
over Indiana
gets kicked out of Georgia. He's kicked out of Georgia, forced out into the portal, follows his girlfriend to Miami. They have a big public breakup. Now everyone's like, this Carson Beck like just went to Miami for his girlfriend. Now they broke up. So like, is Carson Beck really locked into Miami? He was. He has played really well.
Got a bag.
He did.
Other things.
He did get a bag. Yeah,
leaving.
He 100% got a bag at Miami. Don't get me wrong.
You're in Miami, it's worst places to be.
But I would say I am happy for Carson Beck and happy that this is how it ended up for him.
For Sid the Sloth, yeah.
Yeah, no, for Sid. I am very for the Hammerhead Shark himself. I'm very excited and happy. But
yeah, it is just objectively funny how dominoes fall like that.
Yeah. If you were to tell me that this whole Cavinder situation is the reason why Danny Boy Kane is allowed to feel joy, then sign me up for that. All right, sign me up for DBC content. Okay.
I will also just. It is just interesting. I think the 10 seed has made the Natty both years of the playoffs. Last year was Ohio State being a 10. Miami's
Notre Dame. Well, Notre Dame last year was a 10.
Notre Dame, sorry, was the 10.
Yeah.
I knew one of the two of you were the 10. I couldn't remember which one.
I think that's like, we are just saying, like, right now to win this college football playoff, it is tough to get through a gauntlet of 3 or 4 really highly ranked teams. It's not easy. And what we're seeing right now in this playoff run, to win 3 to 4 games, we are seeing right now how important veteran quarterback experience is. The 4 teams that have played in the 12-team national championship all had multi-year starters. Will Howard and Riley Leonard last year, Fernando Mendoza and Carson Beck this year. So that's one thing. And just in general, college football overall, I think that this is now becoming a bit more prevalent. Why risk starting a guy for his first time? They could be a junior, they could be draft eligible after a year, but why risk playing a guy that has never started in college football when you can just portal in a multi-year starter? And that's a big question right now. Ohio State, they're looking at it.
You even saw that this year with, I said in, I think the last of us 2 episodes ago with Trinidad Chambliss versus Austin Simmons. Austin Simmons.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking that example, but I'm thinking of just all these teams that have made it to the playoffs, which units on their teams that are getting picked on. And it's always the first year start. They could be a junior, but it's their first year starting and they're getting picked on.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's just interesting. And we'll see what happens, but also like so many quarterbacks this year, like the teams that are trying to be winners, like Oregon obviously is a very big example. They go and get their quarterback out of the portal like every year, essentially, under Dan Lanning at least. And then Indiana is another example with Rourke last year and Fernando this year. Like I don't know what their plan is for next year right now, but I'm assuming it's somewhat similar to that.
They're landing some big names in the portal right now. Yeah. Shout out Mark Cuban.
Yeah. But, the teams that are trying to perennially be in the playoffs are all going after quarterbacks. LSU just signed Sam Leavitt. So, similar strategies there.
Yeah, that whole Damon Williams situation is quite something. I think our last update was he was in the portal getting sued by Washington. He's now returning to Washington.
Yeah, I personally would not want to be sued by the school that I am back at.
Yeah,
that locker room is probably interesting.
That's another thing I thought about. Just like how do you address that situation with the team? Now Damon Williams, he's very talented, and at the end of the day, I think they'll move past this one. But at least for the next month or so, Everett, it's awkward up there.
Yeah, I don't even know where you start.
I will say I want to end real quick on this, just on the topic of multi-year starters, taking them in the portal versus starting a first-time guy. Talking about Ohio State here, a lot of Ohio State fans are very, very pissed about how the portal has gone. I believe as of now, 40 scholarship players from Ohio State are in the portal. There's 85 scholarship players. A lot of those guys go in the draft. So we have under 42 scholarship players on roster right now, which is under half of your team. And I see a lot of people complaining for good reason. Like, what the hell? You just think about that. Like, oh shit, there's a lot of new bodies next season. Wow. But a lot of the guys that left who were, quote, going to start, they would have been all first-time starters. And this year we saw that Ohio State team, the first-year starters were the weak points.
Also, just because 40 of them are in the portal does not mean 40 of them are leaving.
That's another thing. I've seen it now way too common. Guys pulling themselves out of the portal or returning to their school. That's just kind of the new norm. Enter the portal, try to get some more money. If not, you could just withdraw. There's not really punishment anymore if half the team does it. So,
no, yeah, 100%.
You can't really get on a guy for hitting the portal and coming back when it's so did my 38 other teammates. Like you're picking me out. Like
the majority of the team is in the portal right now. Are you gonna tell us that we can't play?
Tell me that I'm the piece of shit? We all hit the portal. So
yeah,
that's kind of just what college football is at right now. But we'll get more into this in the college football segment. But crazy times, crazy everything. But without further ado, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today is episode 362, and the college football national championship is set. Wildcard Weekend is almost done. Recording as this Steelers game Texans
be
about to
starting
go
here in
live.
about 15 minutes. Yeah.
But the transfer portal does not make any sense either. We're going over that slightly. But, we're going to try to primarily stick this episode to recapping, I would say, moving forward with less playoff games per week. The preview sections may need an extra segment or two in there to beef it up. But massive week to unpack. I feel like we got to start in the NFL. That's where my interest was over the weekend. I feel like we have to start off here. Caleb Williams with another fourth quarter comeback. I want to make this point clear. I am a Caleb Williams guy. All right. That was my college quarterback. That's how I got to watch. But I can admit, Everett, if I was a Packers fan, I would hate Caleb Williams with every fiber in my body. I would hate him so much that this would be passed down generations. My great-grandchildren would hate the Williams estate forever.
Look, Caleb Williams did not have a good game. Like, objectively speaking, it was not a good game. Obviously, good in the fourth quarter, second half comeback. That was good. Objectively speaking, the game as a whole was not great. Caleb Williams, I've said on this podcast several times, I think that he's an amazing athlete. I think that he's a good quarterback. I have praised him on several occasions, even when I've kind of dumped on the Bears at times, or even dumped at him on.
But you've never dumped on the Bears on this podcast.
No, never. But Caleb Williams did not, like, everybody's touting him. Like, the throw that everybody's thinking of I think it was the fourth quarter. It was like 2 minutes left or something like that. Like 4th and 8, disgusting throw on the move. Like that. Those are plays that you need guys to make. I'm looking at you, Justin Herbert. But, I don't know how sustainable that is. And I think the problem is that Ben Johnson, we were talking about this earlier. Ben Johnson kind of seems like an unlikable guy in the coaching world by the way that he's handled himself. The Bears obviously love him.
I don't think there's I don't think there's a coach that is more full of himself on planet Earth than Ben Johnson is now.
Look, the Bears love him, as they should. If that was my coach, I would probably also love him. Like, he's 100%. You're a guy, right? But, those are the kind of things that I don't know how long they last in the NFL. And Caleb Williams, I think, is also kind of breathing in that kind of culture and that vibe, which for Moxie and quarterback position, good, but otherwise not so sure.
What do you mean by that culture and that, like,
just not necessarily like the full of himself, but like along those lines.
Well, he is full of himself. Don't get me wrong.
Where it's just kind of like the culture that Ben Johnson has come in, where it's like,
yeah, it's kind of like a asshole look at me type of attitude now.
Yes, that kind of vibe. That's the kind of vibe I think. Caleb and the team as a whole has taken, and good for you. Obviously, you guys have the most success you've had in years, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know whether you've got any other things to say about that.
I just thought it's interesting how they're kind of like Alabama in the sense where you do not get the same Chicago Bears we have not seen one game all season where they were the same team all 4 quarters of the game. Like fourth quarter Bears, they are different than first half Bears. But I agree. I'm not sure how sustainable this is. And when the Rams are coming to town next week, I'm not sure against that pass rush.
Look, like the Rams had a hard time with Carolina. Don't get me wrong, but I think that compared to the Packers, if you come out in the same way you did in the first half to 3 quarters of that game versus the Packers versus the Rams, there isn't a comeback. Like it's not.
And how could the Rams have prepared for Jalen Coker? What the hell? Where did that come from? What?
Hey, they were too focused on Rico Dowdle. That's why Rico's stats were down. They didn't use him as much because of that. But I don't know. I feel like with all the teams left in the playoffs right now, the Bears are for certain the least likable team. I would like to say out of the remaining playoff teams.
Yes.
I am saying that from an NFC North standpoint, so there's bias.
I'm thinking AFC. Maybe some Patriots stink because it's the Patriots, but like
it's different Patriots. It's not Bill Patriots. So like that, maybe there's a difference.
Yeah, no, it's not directed towards the Mike Vrabel, Drake May, or no, it's directed to the Patriots fans who are full of themselves right now. That's who it's directed to.
It is just also like, I think Bears, and it was the Packers. It was a rivalry. Like, hey, I fuck with the cheese graters guys. All right. Like I fuck.
Oh, you like that? You like
I
that?
fuck with that.
Okay. Now that is what I was referencing when I said I would hate Caleb. Generational hate.
Like
down
if I were a Packers fan,
yeah,
that would piss me off. But like for Vikings now, like every time the Vikings are down, the other team just does a skull clap. And I'm just like, okay, all right, guys, fuck. Okay, thanks. Like, and then, then I hope on the team's entire demise, lose the rest of the season.
Fair.
Like I don't know if there's a similar version of cheese grating to what Vikings is just the skull clap. That's the only antagonizing that people can do. But if I was a Packers fan, for sure, and Ben Johnson too, just saying fuck the Packers, in the locker room. It's just, I don't think we've seen a coach handle themselves that way.
No,
great for the locker room and like
great for the NFL, and, great and for that, us, great for this podcast.
That like gets you rowdy. That gets you rowdy as a fan of that team and as a guy in the locker room. But I think if your other team's looking in, you're just kind of like, Sean McVay is a really big example of this. Sean McVay, awesome offensive mind, like the offensive guru when you think about offensive guys. He set the whole tone and precedent for the offensive hires going forward, the young minds, right?
Yeah, he changed how coaching hires.
He holds himself very, very highly, and like is I wouldn't say tame. Like he definitely has passion, and like
But I would say though he knows how to corral it in and when to shut up and like be a leader. I'd say
it's a little bit different, and like I know getting yourself rowdy and like you're firing up the team, and I love that. But like, I feel like that's a little too much like high school ball kind of vibe. Like that's what your team captain should be doing. I don't know if you as a coach are doing.
Yeah. Like I also think like McVay, he is humble in the sense that like after a win, he's not showboating. Like Ben Johnson, I don't know this, but it wouldn't surprise me if in the post game he's just like shitting on the Packers.
I mean, no, just being
like, their defense is just awful. Like it was really easy. Like literally, honestly, apart like that.
The thing that I would have been bothered about the most is not like the fuck the Packers and locker room, whatever. Like cool, like you want a playoff game versus a team that's your biggest rival in your division. Yeah, I would be hyped too. It's the post game when you're going to shake LaFleur's hand. He like half shook as he was like running away, like didn't say any words, didn't exchange.
Oh, the handshake was crazy. Like, that was crazy.
That is more so where
what is the beef with LaFleur specifically?
I don't know. The entire offseason too, when they handled when they hired him too, he was like, we're gonna beat the fucking Packers. Like we're not gonna lose. I know what it feels like to beat the Packers. It's just like
he's always specifically.
I know the Packers are like the blue chip team in the division, and they are historically the best team in the division. Right? They're always good. And I know the Bears-Packers rivalry, right? Like that is technically the biggest rivalry between the two teams over the Vikings with the Packers.
Bears-Packers is massive. That's
and I get that, and like that could be what he's getting into, but just like I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like he puts a target on his back. But I mean, if you can talk the talk and you're gonna walk the walk, all to you, man. All the power to you. You want to do that, but it definitely makes you less likable and makes other teams want to beat you even more. Just to put the 100%. All right, let's get into some of these next games. We'll just kind of go in order here. Rams Panthers, the other game on Saturday. Like once again, went down to the wire, got very close. Kind of another example of like Bryce Young at the start. It wasn't looking great that first quarter.
Do we say that
Panthers went 3 and out, punt on 5 plays and then interception. That's how their first quarter drives went. Down 14-0, but the second they go down 14-0, Bryce immediately comes back and responds.
Yeah, is that a top 3 Bryce Young performance in his career?
If we're talking NFL career, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. But it's clear you saw the fun in Bryce Young. I will say though, we've given Bryce Young plenty of praise recently. Panthers amazing season, but we're talking
I
soupy
just,
here.
yeah, I
Do
know,
we
but like,
think the Rams are still like because this is
well, here's the
concerning?
thing.
A 3 point win.
It is. I think this is the question, right? Are you concerned because you think that the Panthers aren't good and the Rams played down? Or is it actually the Panthers were a lot better than all of us thought they were? And the Rams weren't necessarily expecting that, slash, they
You
just
know,
played better than we were
part of
expecting.
that's included. The Panthers are better than a lot of people are giving them credit, but it's just the Rams over the past month, they
Look,
have
I,
not been
I
juggernauty.
just will say, like, there was a total shift in this game. I think it was, I don't remember what the score exactly was, but the Rams had a chance to score and they didn't. And then the Panthers started coming back. And it was like a 2-score game at that point. And the Panthers, started coming back. That's where my concern is. It's the Panthers, not the Panthers, the Rams' ability to stay ahead by a sizable margin and not kind of lose, like take their foot off the gas. Um, you can't do that versus the Bears. The foot always needs to be on the pedal. And for the Panthers, the last stretch of their games here down the line has been pretty good. Obviously, they lost that last game to the Bucs, but it is like, late season Bucs. There's always some magic that goes on there. But like if I was a Panthers fan in general, I'd be very, very happy with this. Like Dave Canales finally kind of is putting, his money where his mouth is.
Sure, sure. I want to talk about Rams though. I'm just concerned. I was saying all year, soupy contender right here. They have all the pieces, offense and defense. They have pass rush, run stopping, secondary, pass game, run game to a degree. Like it's all there.
Well,
Red zone offense there. But now we're seeing issues with them closing out games.
Yeah, closing out games is problematic. And I mean, it's been problematic for a little bit. I will just say this, like, outside of hosting their own game, I think this is probably the best situation that they could be in to make the Super Bowl.
Like, 1,000,000%.
Yeah, you're going to Chicago, playing Chicago in the playoffs. When it's the first time they've been in the playoffs since 2018. As like, it's first time they might have hosted a playoff game in a decade.
But you'd rather it be this than
I'd rather be that than in Seattle.
Yeah, exactly.
Now. And also, if you win this game, you're going to play a team that you've played 2 times this season already. I would feel very good about my ability to make the Super Bowl based off that, because either A, I'm playing a familiar opponent in the 49ers or the Seahawks, and B, the Bears, out of like between them or the Eagles, because that's the only way that they'd be playing an away game, right?
Yeah.
I would much rather play the Bears than I would rather play the Eagles.
100%. So, and now that the Eagles are bounced too, it's like, okay,
this is your way to,
we're setting this up.
And the Rams, like, I don't know if I feel worse about, like, when you're thinking about the comeback for the Panthers and maintaining that lead, I don't know if I feel worse about the defense for the Rams or the offense of the Rams, or if I should be both. Realistically, it's the special teams. The special teams has been so unbelievably bad that is why really they have a hard time maintaining the leads, because the special teams has yielded so many yards to the other team, or they haven't punted well, or haven't covered well, or haven't kicked well. Everything, like, I mean, the Chargers are the quintessential example of this. I don't remember what year it was, but number 1 defense, number 1 offense, worst special teams in the league.
Rams had a punt block. Late in the game.
You want to talk about momentum shifting? That's exactly how that happens. Like, your special teams needs to flip the field, and they need to be good at it. And the Rams happen at all,
or just get the punt off. Just get the punt off.
That too. Not having punts blocked.
I'm looking like their punter. I'll be honest. He has a bit of a cannon on him. He cannon. Does. 4 punts. 3 of them inside the 20. Long of 65.
Yeah, but that's when the ball gets off. That's when it gets off
right there. But yeah, like Rams, I'm to answer that original question, I am concerned about the defense.
Well, I was just saying that as if like concerned about the defense or the offense, but realistically, the biggest concern should be the special teams. Like, yeah, there's concerns across all parts of the ball, but like special teams has been the worst thing out of all of it. And that's kind of been a big, like, turning point for that. But yeah, between the offense or the defense, yes, the defense is the more problematic.
I would say, yeah, no, I'm more concerned about their defense. But I mean, to be the offense has a lot to be desired still. They weren't really running the ball that well. That's kind of how this offense gets going. If they're in second and medium, second and short, now they could do Puka on whatever the
12
hell.
12 personnel, running the tight end sets that they've been doing all season, like wasn't really working that well versus the Panthers down the last little stretch there. They kind of had to go away from that a little bit.
Well, yeah, no, that has kind of been faded out of the playbook as they're not really running the ball that effectively in 13, where you should be, but they're not. So, and part of that can be because, well, they are playing NFL playoff defenses. These are going to be better defenses than average throughout the season, of course. But yeah, that is Rams Panthers. We gotta get into these other games though. Holy shit, Bills Jags, Everett. I mean, Josh Allen once again does it again.
I said this. I don't know if I said this to you or somebody else, but like that game that's the AFC Championship. That should have been an AFC Championship game. Like, it's unfortunate that was an initial matchup, but like those are two teams that very much were in competition to make the Super Bowl this year. Both were very good. Both probably had a very good chance to make the AFC Championship. Just happens that they had to play each other in the first round.
And yeah, I would say my big thing about this game, I was saying it, my matchup is going to be the Bills and the number one NFL rushing offense against Jacksonville Jaguars, the number one rush defense. The Jacksonville Jaguars won that battle by tenfold. On the day, James Cook, 46 yards on 50.
I was thinking of things, what do we call it? Grant, that's the wall of Duval right there. That's the wall of Duval.
The Duval, maybe?
Duval, you could say that, but the wall of Duval.
I'm looking at this Buffalo Bills box score, and it's genuinely horrifying how the Bills won this game, okay?
Also, considering that the Josh Allen was, like, hurt every, like, 3 drives, like...
He has gotten hurt in the second... He has literally entered the blue tent in the first half in his past 6 games, Everett.
He's put in his... body. People from Buffalo, please do something for
he better get free wing nuts for the next month and at room 40. But Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, 28 for 35, 273 yards, touchdown, no interceptions, just 1 sack taken on the day, adding 2 rushing touchdowns with the longest QB sneak in NFL history. Potentially.
Yeah.
Was not a tush push. Do not.
I thought it was a tush push.
Hell no. He didn't do that bullshit. We're sneaking the shit like a man. They don't do that.
There's somebody behind them, but yeah.
They weren't pushing. That's Josh. I have watched Josh Allen sneaks for the past 3 years very closely. Every sneak, it's to the left, behind the left guard.
Allen sneaks.
I've had him in fantasy the past 3 years, and that's a 6-point tubby right there, folks. So I know a lot about Josh Allen QB sneaks. And it is always off the left guard every single time. Usually he'll get it if it's close, dive forward, classic Big Ben fat ass sneak. Or if it's a long, like 8-inch, like 10-inch, like a long yard to gain.
Yeah.
Then he will get the ball, turn around to protect it, and backpedal forward, if that makes sense.
He's not doing any of the jump over with the ball.
No, I was thinking the OG Brady sneak. Because that was the
Stafford.
OG.
Stafford was the same with Stafford. Just
quick
leap.
Pull it back. Right back. Over,
Mm-hmm.
back. First down, forward progression. That was the OG sneak. But I've become equipped to these Josh Allen sneaks. And also, I'm going to read you the wide receiver box score of the Buffalo Bills. So, leading receiver on the day, Khalil Shakir, of course. This is the most surprising stat. He had 12 catches for 82 yards. Everett, how many targets do you think Khalil Shakir had for those 12 catches, 82 yards?
12 for 12.
He was 12 for 12.
Yeah.
That's a Josh Allen stat
also,
right there.
Gabe Davis tore his ACL, and then Shaver went out with some injury earlier
Yep.
too.
Yep. That's the true wide receiver by committee over there.
Yeah.
Move over, Patty. Josh Allen's got negative help. All right. Brandon Cooks was making plays at the end of this game.
Yeah.
I remember when Brandon Cooks got traded to the Rams, and that was a big deal in 2017. It's 2026.
Remember, he was on the Patriots.
It's 2026. Remember when he got hit in the Super Bowl, and then they made that meme of the Fortnite knocked with the gold scar?
Yeah.
One of the greatest memes in Super Bowl history. And that was in peak Fortnite, guys. That's how long ago it was. The fact that Brandon Cooks is making key catches for Josh Allen to win a wild card playoff game, what are we talking about? Josh Allen is unbelievable. He is the best player in the NFL. Most valuable, important to his team's success.
Why you won MVP last year?
Easily. It's easily Josh. What are we talking about? But to go 28 for 35, 80% completion with that ragtag JV wide receiver room, what are we talking about? What?
Not to mention your run game.
The Jags defense is legit too. Exactly. No, you have no run game. You're in third and long the entire game. Guess what? I'm getting a first down because I'm Josh Allen. So I can't have any more praise for him. This is it. This is it, Buffalo. No Chiefs.
I mean, they're going. They are quite literally taking. We were talking about the Rams having like the best route for them. The Bills are quite literally going through the
They walk through the biggest test. They walk through
They are going through the gauntlet to get. It's like they're going through Mordor right now, Grant. They're trying to get to the volcano.
And assuming the Steelers, Texans are the 5 or 6 or 5.
Texans are the 5. Steelers are the 4. The Patriots play them
Texans
either
got
way.
That over Bills.
But the Bills are going to have to play the Broncos, and then the Bills are going to have to play the winner of Patriots/Texans/Steelers. Now, if it's the Steelers somehow, obviously, okay, great. But if it's the Patriots or Texans, the defenses they have to go against in this run to the Super Bowl is it's disgusting. It's like multiple top 10 defenses.
Yeah, I would say Patriots are gettable.
But it's still
don't give me. You have to go to.
It's
Foxborough.
not a bad defense at all. But like Broncos and Jaguars are two of the best defenses in the NFL. Let alone Texans too. If that happens,
Texans are the best defense in the NFL. I'd say they're 1. Seahawks are 2.
Yeah, so it's possible that the Bills make the Super Bowl and they play like each of the top 4 defenses in the NFL. Or 5 defenses, whatever. I don't remember where the Jags are technically ranked, but
yeah, I would say this isn't how you should be basing your picks. But when it comes to Josh Allen, it's like you have a massive QB gap in every single game for the rest of these playoffs, and it's hey, Josh Allen needs a touchdown. 4 minutes left. I don't know how you can go against him right now. He's going to score that touchdown every single time. He is unbelievable.
On the Jaguars side, though, Grant, I want to start with this.
Such an impressive season.
Such
an impressive season by Liam Cohen, year 1.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody thought that's where
nobody thought they were going to be this wagon
at all. Especially Trevor Lawrence. Like, even for most of the season, Trevor Lawrence he was kind of middling a little bit.
He turned it the hell up in like week 10.
I don't know what Grant Udusky and Liam Cohen did halfway through the season.
Jacoby Myers.
Grant Udusky, I don't know why the Vikings ever let you leave, man. We got to have some conversations, but Jacoby makes a big difference.
If I'm dead serious, I was talking about this with my brother, and the second Travis Hunter got hurt, Trevor Lawrence started playing quarterback again. Now we need to read an offense and we need to play quarterback.
But this is where that makes me go. Parker Washington, I don't know if somebody had a bet on him on over on yards and receptions or something, but like I think he had 11 or 12 receptions in that game. Him and Jacoby work so well for them. Grant, is Brian Thomas on the move this offseason?
I wouldn't say on the move. Like he gets like a slight pass through here being hurt.
They just I'm just saying that more so they look like Parker Washington and Jacoby are working so well in that offense that it kind of feels like Brian Thomas is like afterthought a little bit. You still have Travis Hunter coming back, but that's just something that I noticed in the playoff game. Like it seemed like Brian Thomas was just like never looked at all in the playoffs.
Yeah, like I'd say another thing about Parker Washington is like Liam Cohen loves attacking the middle of the field. And Parker Washington he is that guy. Jacoby Myers, he is that guy over the middle. Strange a little bit too. I thought though this game, like what really took me away is this rush game from the Jags. Averaged
ETN.
6.7 yards
Yep.
per carry. ETN averaging exactly 6.7. Bashal Tootin 51 yards on 4 carries. What the hell? Uh, like, and I think back to that Bucks offense last year when it was
Yep.
really moving. It was when Bucky Irving is unstoppable, and now you can't load the box, or now you're gonna load the box because we're running it so well, and then boom, Godwin over the top, McMillan over the top, Mike Evans, boom, you get toasted. And it's that yin yang. The run game, the pass game only goes as far as the run game goes. That's how you open these
Look,
things up. And Liam Cohen,
like,
I think he might be the master in the run game right now.
End
Liam
of the
Cohen.
first half, Jaguars miss a 3-point field goal attempt. That would have tied the game. End of the second half, they're coming back on that drive. Grant, like, I think objectively speaking, if you ask anybody, like, we all were like, the game's going to overtime.
Yeah, I assumed they were
like,
getting a score. I
assumed, and it just happened that Tre'Davious White tipped the ball and ended up being an interception. But like, had that not happened, they weren't going 3 and out. They weren't gonna. They were getting to at least the field goal line and giving a kick to go to overtime. Like they were moving.
Yeah, but I mean, Jags, they have a lot to build off of. I feel like, they've got pieces in every level that you need to win.
There are a lot of key free agents this offseason. Like ETN is a free agent, Lloyd is a free agent, Wingard is a free agent, etc. So like they have Diami Brown is a free agent. So there are a lot of pieces that need to make sure that they are re-signed for them to keep this process. But I think they have the cap to do it. So it'll just be interesting to move stuff around and see exactly where they go. But they got the parts.
Yeah, but that was our matchup over there. Jags Bills. What a game! Probably. We've had a lot of good games. I don't know if I can confidently say
every game was
the
good
playoffs so
besides
far.
yours.
Yeah, no, I know.
Good besides yours.
Niners, Eagles. I'm very impressed with the Niners this year. I've counted them out so many times after all the injuries. Just injuries after injuries all season long. Kittle tearing his Achilles, getting that bottle of tequila.
I want to say this. I bet you've seen this by now, but apparently the 49ers practice facility is directly neighbors to a low frequency electromagnetic field like building, essentially like a transformer, a substation.
It is the lab from Stranger Things, folks.
The 49ers have had so many injuries this year.
And they're all at home too.
Yeah, that also keep in mind their practice facility is right next to their stadium, which is right next to the electrical substation. Apparently,
is there scientific proof that
apparently it says that EMF fields, so electromagnetic fields, can degrade collagen, weaken tendons, and cause soft tissue damage at levels regulators call
soft tish. Mike Vrabel's least favorite term.
Yeah, so when you are spending majority of your time at a facility that has those issues or is right next to something that does that, probably not good. We should probably move. Maybe you 100%. Keep the stadium where it is. Maybe we should move the practice facility.
Yeah, and I was also thinking of an EMF building. That's not getting moved. The 49ers have to move. They're not rebuilding that shit. You have to move. All right. So
I don't know if Santa Clara is going to be too fond of you cutting off the entire power to have the city.
That might be the toughest city in America to like prioritize sports over like electricity grid. That might be the toughest place.
But obviously, there is a causation, maybe correlation, between this stuff and the 49ers injuries this season. George Kittle, I mean, hopefully he recovers well. I don't know if he's going to be back. I think he might retire. Like that
one's tough.
That's really tough.
That one's tough.
The age and position that he is. Hell of a career though if he has to retire. But 49ers, I think you said this before. Brock Purdy is one of the quarterbacks you just see throw the ball and you're just like completion,
Yeah,
completion.
I used to shit on Brock Purdy, calling him game manager, system quarterback. I hate to say it, but this dude might be worth the money. I know he's thrown a lot of. He has thrown 2 interceptions in each of his last 3 games. I understand. I know. But this Niners offense with Brock Purdy compared to under Mac and Cheese, it is night and day. Night and day difference. Like with Brock Purdy back there, it's like, oh, we can throw a 14-yard corner route now. You couldn't with Mac and Cheese. It's just like, I hate, I'll admit it. I was wrong. Brock Purdy's a really good quarterback.
And I mean, like CMC is kind of the key going forward, especially with Kittle out. Like Ayuk's not playing. Ricky Pearsall wasn't available that game. A lot of parts were out. Trent Williams obviously came back, but the fact that they were able to beat the Eagles of all teams in Philadelphia,
in Philly,
is very impressive, even though the Philly offense has not been fantastic. And I don't know, where this goes for Philly. They have a lot of free agents too, but
yeah, I'd say Philly's a bit more interesting. You have that AJ Brown drama. Jalen Hurts. I think now the Eagles fans are like, all right, he's not a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. So now you got the fans now accepting that reality. And then you have your question with Saquon, I believe, going to last year of his deal in Philadelphia. And what do we do?
Well, it's also just
there?
Like, I don't know if it's Saquon's fault the way that the season went for him. Like that does fall largely on play calling, and like there's a difference. Like you even had Robert Saleh when they were talking about, if the credit they give to Saquon, he was like, I'm not going to answer that. Like I think Saquon is it's a scheme issue.
Well, yeah, I mean the run game was significantly worse this year than it was year one with Saquon.
And it's mostly the same players. So
yeah, that's it. Lane Johnson was hurt for like that whole second half.
He was hurt. He was not playing in this last game though.
Yeah, like that's going to throw some wrinkles in the operation. He's a very key part of the run game. Still, I kind of just thought the Eagles had enough, like especially on defense, to just get through some of these rounds and kind of, AJ Business has been getting a lot more involved since he was bitching.
The Eagles defense was good though. The Eagles defense was playing pretty well in this game.
Yeah, so, their defense is still very, very good.
It is tough when the 49ers up front really don't have anybody right now, with Michael Williams being hurt, Nick Bosa out, which is the biggest part, and they're still getting pressure. That's where problems begin.
Yeah, no, that was the surprising part of it.
Not to mention Fred Warner is out too.
Yeah, they're missing a lot of guys over there in San Francisco. But like that, like if you just think of like calorie sap, like the Niners are playing at like 65% salary cap to the rest of the league.
Yeah,
they have a ton of core guys making millions all hurt. So it's very impressive what they're doing. And
not to mention Ayuk's not even playing. I don't know if they could offer.
And they haven't skipped a beat.
I think they still have to pay him. So
yeah, and like they really haven't missed out on anything with him being gone.
Just credit to Juwan Jennings because he really has stepped up into a major role with Ayuk being out. Like that.
I gotta check how many touchdowns this guy has on the year because I swear it is a lot. 9 tubbies this year.
I think Demarcus Robinson was the other main guy in this last game. Like he stepped out with Ricky Pearsall being out. I think he was a former Ram.
Former Chief. Dude's kind of been that like journeyman, like 4th wide receiver.
Yeah. Like, I mean, 49ers are one team, and credit to Kyle Shanahan. He always figures out a way to just band-aid things together, and it works. It works. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. You have anything else for that game?
Nah, that's all. We talk about my game very briefly. The shittiest game of the weekend, but I guess because that was the stinker, that Texans Steelers going to be a good game.
Should be good,
right?
Should be
like
good.
Based on that, I will just say, Chargers. Objectively speaking, if you were to tell me both tackles are hurt out for the year, you're still going to be 11-6 in the playoffs. I'd say, you know what? Overall, a dub of the year. Quentin Johnston forgot how to drop the ball. Well, we made a lot of improvements this year as a team. are a lot of steps forward. However, the one question mark that is still out there remains to be answered is Justin Herbert in the playoffs turns into Honda McCord. I cannot deny these allegations any further. He becomes Honda McCord in the playoffs. And I know both tackles were hurt. He had 15 guys in his face every time he was dropping back. I understand, but still at some point, if you're going to, quote, be a top 5, top 10 talent quarterback in the NFL, I'm going to need to see some Josh Allen. I'm going to need to see some CJ Stroud. I'm going to need to see some Matthew Stafford, maybe a little Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, other quarterbacks have gotten it done with worse offensive lines.
Well, this factor bad, but I'm going to need to see some it factor. I know how shit the O-line is. I'm aware. I know.
And, I'll give credit to, it doesn't help when your wide receivers aren't making plays, getting locked down by the defense.
Yeah.
You can't run all the time. Your pocket closes and, you're not going to get yards every time you scramble. But
still, like, this game was so unbelievably winnable.
It was a one-score game for 90% of it.
We got the ball on the 5-yard line and did not score a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's when the game was over. That was the most pathetic shit. And then 4th and 1 on the goal line, they throw. Oh my God. All right. Like, that's this team.
Somebody check where Greg Roman was in the Super Bowl between the Seahawks and Patriots.
I'm just saying, like, Greg Roman, the worst part about this season is that I think he gets a pass for not having tackles. And if he didn't get fired after last season, I don't know how he fires Greg Roman now. Like, why would you fire him now? So I don't think Greg Roman's getting fired. And because of that, next season is also an L already. It's January 12th, 2026. Next season's already an L.
Yeah. Patriots, like, Will Campbell, I have some concerns about because he was just getting mauled by Khalil Mack.
Yeah, that was crazy. I didn't think we were going to have
if
a gap
the Texans
there.
Honestly, either of these teams with the Steelers and Texans, you got TJ Watt pile driving back, or you have Daniil Hunter / Will Anderson driving. Like, you need to figure some stuff out because those guys, compared to where Khalil Mack is in his career, like, it's worse.
I will say one thing that I'll give Drake May and the Patriots credit to. In that second half, it felt like every time they were in 3rd and medium, Everett, it was just just the easiest first. And 3rd and medium, 3rd and longs, if you can't get off the field, you're not a championship team. So, it was simple as that. Like, writing was on the wall. But, like, the worst part of this Chargers team is, like, there are many problems to fix. And, like, knowing this team, we're drafting a guard 1st round. And it's just like, oh my God. Like, I know they are.
To be fair, you do need one.
Sure. But we don't do this shit through the draft, guys.
Yeah, also, we'll see. Okay, Grant, do we want to move on to recapping college football here?
Yeah. Don't have a recap for this Texas Steelers game going on right now, but
obviously.
College football recaps real quick. So, we'll go Miami, Ole Miss. Trinidad Chambliss, despite me complaining about the transfer portal a lot, Trinidad himself has, like, made me re-fall in love with some aspects of the transfer portal and what it could do. Overall, it's a problem, but
like, that's also like a FCS guy coming up.
Well, like, that's another thing. So he is, like, everything great about college football. Like, his story is like everything good about college football. D2 quarterback who had an offer to start at Temple this season, be the starter, decides to pass it up, follow his coach to Ole Miss. Coach tells him, you're going to be the backup for me. I know you're not going to be a star, but this is how I'm going to get you to the NFL. Just do it. Like, I know you don't want it. I know. Just come. And he did. He accepted the backup role like a champ. Didn't worry about it. And then Austin Simmons wasn't hurt. Was he hurt or benched?
Hurt.
He got benched.
Hurt with air quotes. He was benched.
He gets benched. Trinidad now comes in. The rest is history. And he's now suing the NCAA to get his eligibility
to
back.
get eligibility, which he won't win.
But I mean that you're gonna be the second quarterback taken right now, dude.
He can and will be a first round pick.
He's gonna be the second quarterback taken
over Dante Moore.
Yeah, I don't know if Dante Moore's leaving.
I'm pretty sure he will, but
I mean, think he will, but I don't know if he is.
Definitely a close contention, and like he will be like over Ty Simpson 100%. And that is like there are quarterback needy teams in this draft that want a young guy. So like there will be somebody, even if he was borderline, there will be somebody who will reach on.
Well, I think Trinidad's like gonna be good in the NFL. Like I mean,
that he clearly has demonstrated he could take a leap from levels. So I wouldn't put it past him. I mean, with this game though, the one thing I will say, and I just want to talk about like the game itself, other than just Trinidad, because I mean Trinidad could have his own whole episode. The last end of the game, great game, but refs need to start calling things on end of game plays.
That was crazy.
Like
there were like 4 straight PIs.
You're fighting, you know, I get players are fighting for the ball, but like when a defensive back is restricting your ability to make a play on the ball, fighting up until the ball is right there, cool. But when you're actually restricting the player from making a play, that's always a flag.
Yeah, I don't have this terminology in my head. Help me out here, but it's a jump ball. The receiver's going up for, and the DB just keeps his hands right here and doesn't let you go up. Like that's what they were doing.
You just lock, yeah. You're restricting their ability to make a play on the ball.
It was a little bit crazy, but like.
And the ball was also right there too. Like it was definitely a catchable ball. And I think if the DB didn't do that, he probably catches it for a touchdown.
Yeah. So like, if the DB doesn't do that, it is a bang play. And therefore increases the odds of a PI because they actually are hand fighting.
Well, I think they were letting them hand fight the whole time. That's why they didn't call a flag.
They were.
But you know, when the ball's right there, you can't restrict the player's ability to make a play on the ball like that unless you're also playing the ball, which they weren't. And you know, if you're the DB, cool, get a flag on that because if you don't do that, he probably catches a touchdown. Worked out for the DB because they didn't even get flagged at all. But like, you know, it's a 15-yard difference. It's like they're throwing at the 20-25. That should have been the play, giving everybody more football that they want to see, obviously. And then also that's, you know, Ole Miss. And I'm somebody who does not like Ole Miss very much. It's very well documented on this podcast. And I'm not a big fan of Ole Miss. And I'm saying that they deserve that chance and that flag.
Yeah. So. Yeah. No, it was a tough ending. I would say that, I mean, Ole Miss, that's a greatest coaching introduction in the history of sports for Pete Golding. Greatest coach intro at any level ever.
100%. You want to talk about if you want to talk about having an interview on the job?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
that's quite the interview on the job.
Yeah, he's the biggest winner of this college football playoff season in Trinidad. But I would say other than that though, one thing that's kind of sticking out to me, both teams ran the ball extremely well. Mark Fletcher, 133 yards, 22 rushes, 6 yards a pop. And then on the other flip side, Q Lacey, 103 yards on 11 carries, averaging 9.5 yards a pop with a tubby as well. Both these teams ran the ball extremely well. I thought of the remaining of the 12 teams, I would say Miami would have been at worst second, if not the number one run defense left, and Ole Miss was able to gash them like that. Also with a negative game, keep that in mind, not a running game script, and they're still gashing you. So that is something to be worried about if you're Miami. How effective Ole Miss was at running the ball.
Indiana's had some pretty good running.
I will say that Indiana, I would say, are the number one run defense left in this tournament. They are very, very stout up front. It is.
I did see a
disciplined
picture difference
football.
Between. I saw a picture difference between Indiana's heaviest defensive lineman and Miami's heaviest. Miami's 6'9", like 350 pounds. Indiana's 6 foot flat. It's not 350. He's like 310.
Yeah,
I'm just embellishing.
6'9", 350.
I'm embellishing.
Is that the mountain from Game of Thrones?
He is 6 foot. Assuming this graphic was right, he is 6'9". The weight I'm not so sure about, but I'm embellishing it. Indiana is like 6 foot flat. It's a 9-inch difference between the heaviest guy on Indiana's defensive line and the heaviest one on.
I'd say I got zero concerns about that.
No, clearly it doesn't matter at all. Indiana's defensive
I
line has been
couldn't care
amazing,
less
but
about size
it
for
is
these
just
guys.
objectively hilarious to
Yeah,
see the disparity.
it's
Like
just
that's the
it's a
point.
little jarring when you
Yeah.
look at it like that. I would just say Indiana, they are the best team in this
Oh,
tournament. Well,
yeah.
there's only two
Well,
teams left,
they also
but
were always the best team in this
yeah, they
tournament.
were the best team going into it of the 12 teams. But they kind of have gaps all over on Miami. They kind of just do. And I believe this spread. Do we have a spread? Okay, Indiana's open as an 8.5 point favorite. Ever, I think I'm taking that 8.5. I'm laying that. Well, we can get more into it. This game will be. Oh my goodness! It's actually in 5 days on the 19th. This will
Yeah,
not be played on a Monday.
wait,
Weird.
no, the 19th. Today's the 12th. It's a week
Oh,
from today.
oh my God. Yeah. Wow. Got my dates wrong. So okay. No, it is still on a Monday. Eight and a
I
half
have
is
breaking news. Michael Pratt has been signed to the St. Louis Battlehawks in the XFL.
yeah, I almost misspoke on a word there. I was about to say that's an interesting team that he signed for. But yeah, I mean, we'll get more into this national championship breakdown because that is in a week. But a great weekend of football, great weekend of sports. NFL once again reigns king. That was one of the best wild card weekends we've had in a very long time.
And I
terms
mean,
of entertainment.
it's still going right now.
Yeah, it's still going. And hey, Steelers had the ball in the 50, and they're
I mean,
driving.
it's they just got a flag on the Texans. 0:08 right now left in the first quarter. But yeah, I mean, I think with that we'll wrap up here. We have next episode. We'll go over the national championship as well as the next round of the NFL playoffs, along with
Or
any
to the
other
divisional rounds in the NFL playoffs.
yeah, as long as well as any other festivities we can come up with. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching, listening, raise 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and on Instagram at Waterboy Pod. You can follow me on Twitter at Everett6 and at Waterboy Grant. We post new episodes every week on YouTube and all podcast platforms. So make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss anything else. We also post exclusive content on Instagram and on TikTok as well. So make sure to check us out there so you don't miss anything over there. And with that, we'll see you guys next episode. Waterboys out.